Hi, it's Amir. Today, Elisa Rabiatol and I will be explaining for the positive side of esports. Now, since Elisa and I are both gamers and have invested a decent amount of time and effort in the games that we play, this is gonna get interesting. For me, I will be explaining some of the in-game elements that develop instinctive attributes of the athletes that may convince you to start playing some games yourself. So first of all, the games in esports refine your eye-hand contact. This means how well synchronized you are between your sight and your physical actions. This applies to games that requires immediate reaction and near-perfect accuracy, which are first-person shooting games like CSGO, PUBG, and rhythm games like Archaea, Citus, and my favorite, Osu, which consists of 4 game modes, my favorites being Standard and Catch the Beat. While anybody can play the easy levels, some levels can get pretty insane. But hey, we could all use some of these reflexes in our daily lives, right? Next is it enhances the ability to analyze. It's about the things that change how you play the game every single time. First is matchup advantages, which is more common in Clash Royale. It's where a strategy is generally better or worse against another. It has that rock, paper, scissors element, and it's not really that hard once you played it 1,000 times and get the general idea of it, so it's not really a big deal. Number 2 in analyzing, map or base layout. Clash of Clans would be a good example for this. In this game, raiding a base is separated into a few different phases, each consisting different types of troops at different amounts. First is usually taking out a few key defenses, next is clearing out sections of the base, then here comes the main army to clear out almost everything, and finally the cleanup for possibly a perfect score. If you think attacking a base is hard, then what about setting the base? Well, depending on what you're trying to defend against, arrange and toggle your buildings accordingly. You have to position your traps, so there could be tons of ways to set up your base, so be sure you're set. Let's talk about Brawl Stars now. So each map has a different layout, different obstacles, and you can utilize them in many different ways, as a barrier, as a hideout, as a boost for an ambush, and if you can't use them to your advantage, then you are fairly restricted because that's what obstacles do, don't they? Generally, you should pick long-range brawlers for widely open maps to outrange your opponents and tanky brawlers for more confined maps, ensuring longer survivability with the constant up-close contacts throughout the matches. While one can manage a handful of restrictions, this is where unique character abilities come into place. Some can blast out obstacles, some can build more walls, some can hook enemies closer, some can shove them away, some can blind the enemies, some can reveal the entire map. While some pre-existing abilities are permanent, additional ones are not really, as you can only pick one or the other, and some of them are only best suited for certain game modes, so therefore, please pick the right ones. It doesn't help when you only play one favorite character, does it? Well, this does, and that is analyzation number 3, their perks. In Identity 5, we have what they call a persona structure or build, which is a branch system of passive traits with limited amount of attachable perks. Do you need extra movement speed, faster attack recovery, more resistance against stunning abilities? Well, yes, everybody will pick a different character, but we can predict and adapt to what they might pick and how they might play it. As mentioned, one's choice is restricted to the map layout and character abilities, which are easily spotted and obvious. Since perks are passive traits, they are barely noticeable unless you are very experienced and very sure with what you're doing. So it is likely that they would waste a lot of their time and resources and ended up losing the game without even knowing what they did wrong. Finally, we have come down to the execution. Games in esports improves split-second decision making. With everything put together, this is where the players are tested to their maximum capabilities. Dota 2, one of the many extremely complicated 5 vs 5 MOBA games, has it all. Hero drafting, item builds, map control and awareness. Do you gank on the enemies? Do you heal your teammates? Do you use your items, abilities on the enemies or on your teammates? And by the time you've decided, you're already dead, so you better make it right and make it quick. And since these decisions happened so fast, they might have missed a few important moments. And not everybody actually have the motive to watch and learn from mistakes from the previous replays to see what they did wrong and what they could have done better next time. It's these things that differentiate the levels of players in a game, and those who can't handle these games, well, they quit. Phew, that's all the time I have for now. Lisa, Rabiato, take it away. So we have looked at the good and the bad in esports. While most discussable topics can be a little bit one-sided, esports does not get an exception for sure. We hope we have made you think a little outside of your comfort zone and have opened your eyes to reconsider everything on the other side of the argument, whether you think esports is actually amazing, disastrous, or just okay. As a reminder, there is nothing in the world that is perfect, and a little too much of something won't end up in a good way for most of the times. Just like everything else, time management and self discipline is key to having a perfect balance physically, mentally, and emotionally. At the end of the day, not everybody could completely agree with our decisions regarding esports or maybe just gaming in general. So if it makes you happy, that's all that matters. And last but not least, thank you for watching our videos. Bye bye.